Welcome to Remnant 101 at the City on a Hill Church. I'm Associate Pastor Benji Lalean. God's remnant is intentional. First, let's read a couple of verses. First one is found in James chapter 4, verse 17. It says, "Therefore to him who knows to do good and does not do it, to him it is sin." And then we're going to go to 1 Corinthians chapter 9, verses 26 and 27. It says, "Therefore I run thus, not with uncertainty, thus I fight, not as one who beats the air. But I discipline my body and bring it into subjection, lest when I have preached to others, I myself should become disqualified." I've talked about laziness. I've talked about being doers. That all falls under being intentional about pleasing God. I want to dive a little deeper into that because in the place that God has us at right now, we are learning how being intentional is an everyday thing. I have 3 points concerning what I mean when I say to be intentional. Number 1, and this is the simplest and most straight to the point, so I'm not going to spend a lot of time on this one, and that's seek out the will of God and do it. If you know what God wants us to do and you don't do it, then James clearly said that it's sin. Number 2, you got to be purposeful. Not just creating a purpose. Make your purpose to please God and make your actions be driven by that purpose. Let it be guided by, is what I'm doing exalting God? We say that a lot here. At all times, you need to let what you're doing be guided by that. That kind of intentionality will help eliminate actions and things that are clearly sinful to God, but it'll also help you eliminate things that are in the gray areas that seem good, but are just tools that the devil uses as distractions. Without that intentionality, like Paul said, it's no better than a fighter beating up on the air. You have to choose to put away the distractions and the things that get in the way of you serving God properly and in turn receiving from him. Nobody else will do it for you and nobody else can do it for you. God put the opportunity to make these choices in your hands. This shows that being intentional is not only a requirement, but it's a privilege from God. When you make your purpose for pleasing God, these choices become much clearer. And number 3, don't wait for the work of the Lord to come to you. This is probably the hardest one to apply on a regular basis for most Christians. This means don't wait until you stumble into something that makes you say, I bet God might like it if I did that. And don't even wait to be told what to do. Let what you do every day exemplify, Lord, what can I do for you today? Always be looking for ways to serve God, his house, and his will. Have the mindset of there's always something to be done for God. Because that's true. And if we're being honest, this is how we should work any job that we have. There are people who do their earthly jobs that way. How much more does God deserve it? In the past, my dad has talked about being extraordinary and going the extra mile. That absolutely applies here. But you don't go the extra mile without being intentional about it. If someone told you to do it, then you just did what you're told. I'm reminded of a lesson that my dad gave years ago about the difference between being compliant and being committed. Compliant means you do what you're told, but being committed means that you do whatever it takes. God's remnant, again, like Enoch, as we have been saying a lot lately, is intentional in doing whatever it takes to please God, and I'm praying that you're with us in that. God bless you.